Joshua.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, champ.
World, Anthony Joshua. This man has become an icon in many ways for what he's been able to do outside of the ring.
Rank Jake Paul if he wins this fight, and that will put him in position at least to fight for a world title. Whatever you want to say about Jake Paul, we were all there.
Fight that's captured the imagination and generated huge interest. Two men who split opinion, a fight that splits opinion. It has to be the most eagerly anticipated 8-rounder of any of it.
The potential showdown between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul is shaping up to be a must-watch spectacle. Joshua comes armed with raw strength, championship-level experience, and an Olympic background, while Jake Paul leans on speed, unpredictability, and an unshakable belief in himself to level the playing field.
Rock, they said no photos, Rock.
Huh?
They said no photos.
Okay, we'll do that, yeah.
But this is what we signed up for, and he's very tall, but that means I can use my speed and my size to mine.
Boxing analysts are already breaking down possible game plans, with many expecting fireworks early on. Both fighters appear to be in top physical shape, which only adds to the excitement and makes this one of the most fascinating matchups fans could see. Jake Paul is stepping into this fight carrying a level of self-confidence that has caught many experts off guard. Recent discussions highlight how strongly he believes in his ability to meet the challenge head-on and come out victorious. Compared to earlier bouts, Paul seems more locked in, showing a sharper focus and a deeper sense of purpose. Observers following his camp note that his confidence is rooted not just in training, but in mental preparation as well. Rather than being intimidated by the idea of facing a former heavyweight champion, Paul appears to welcome it as a defining moment to prove his place on the global boxing stage.
He's very big. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy here.
Former pro fighter and analyst BJ Flores offers a more reserved outlook. While he acknowledges that Anthony Joshua is no longer at the absolute peak of his career and has faced setbacks in recent fights, Flores still sees the matchup as extremely dangerous for Jake Paul. He points to Joshua's size, ring IQ, and years of elite-level experience as major obstacles. Flores suggests that this leap in competition might be coming too soon, warning that a slower progression against tougher opponents could have been a safer route for Paul's long-term development.
And losing to Andy Garcia, I don't think that means you're punchy. I think that means he's fought the best fighters, the best heavyweights over the last 15 years, and he's fallen short, of course, but he's a very, 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 he's a very big man. He's got that Olympic pedigree, and that makes the fight against him very difficult.
Does indeed. What do you think is the upside? There's always an upside for this fight against Jake. I guess if I play sort of the viewer's perspective, what people are saying on Twitter, they're saying it's a win-win for Jake. You fight a two-time former heavyweight world champion in Anthony Joshua. If you get knocked out, it's no big deal. And if you lose, if you get knocked out, you get the respect of the public as well for taking the fight. If you win, you're the king,
Yeah. The upside is, I think, I don't know, like everyone's like, oh, I respect Jake. I'm just like, it's just crazy that you would have to fight, a former world heavyweight champion, 6'6", 240-pound gold medalist. That's the only way you get people's respect. Like, there's a lot of other ways. Like, and if you don't get everybody's respect, those people just don't really understand boxing. Like I said, I feel like this fight is a little early for Jake. Obviously, I would like to see him fight one heavyweight before this fight happened, at least one heavyweight, and then maybe see him, be in there with B, a guy world rated in any weight. Cruiserweight, heavyweight, anything before you go in with a guy like Anthony Joshua. It's just a massive difference on the size and the power and win everything. But I guess, if the objective is to make people talk and make people say, oh man, he's crazy, then he's getting exactly that. He's getting what he wants. So to me, it doesn't make sense. This fight doesn't make sense to me at all, but I think it would be there down the road. I'd much rather see like a Canelo fight than an AJ.
Joey Knight pushes back against critics who continue to question Jake Paul's legitimacy in boxing. He emphasizes that Paul carries real knockout power and isn't lacking in strength. According to Knight, the fact that Paul is even being discussed as a competitive opponent for a seasoned professional speaks volumes. This acknowledgement strengthens the argument that Paul is more than just a promotional figure and has a genuine chance to hold his own in the ring.
You must be smiling and frowning at the same time. You must be smiling because it's happening and you're getting a mega payday. But surely you must be frowning at the fact that this kid and others out there believe that he stands a chance of even beating you. And look, if the stars align, maybe Jake Paul could close his eyes, he could put his head down, he could throw a punch sent from the heavens and he could clip AJ on the chin with it. But even if he does, I'd put my money on it that it doesn't do anything. I don't think it does anything to Anthony Joshua, even if Jake Paul does manage to clip him, because Joshua's never been hard to hit anyway. But the difference between getting hit by a Jake Paul and getting hit by a Daniel Dubois is monumental, and even that is an understatement. And the difference for Jake Paul in getting hit by a Nate Diaz compared to an Anthony Joshua is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What do you think AJ would do to Nate Diaz? What do you think AJ would do to Tommy Fury? Come to think about it, what do you think Francis Ngannou would do to Jake Paul? And look at how that went. So either way, what I'm saying here is quite simple, right? Jake's style is very, very easy for Anthony Joshua to navigate, and that is even if the skill set between the two were on par. Because although he's getting better at them, Jake still makes many, many fundamental flaws. He leans over his front foot when he jabs, and that's a problem because when you do that, you're always gonna have the potential to be countered when...
Many experts analyzing the fight focus on the massive gap in professional experience. Anthony Joshua has gone toe-to-toe with some of the toughest heavyweights of his generation. Even after a lengthy break from competition, Joshua's resume includes champions, heavy hitters, and high-pressure fights that Paul has yet to encounter. Analysts highlight that Joshua's understanding of ring positioning, tactical adjustments, and composure under fire could play a decisive role, possibly outweighing pure athletic ability.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? And just to clarify, I don't class Otto Wallin as a very competitive fight. Every competitive fight that AJ is in from now until the end of his career and has been in for the last few years, I believe has taken something out of him. Every time he's in a competitive fight, even when he's won, and I'm not saying taken out of him to the extent where he's no longer a good fighter, no longer can do anything, but every single one has taken one out of him. So let's say, for example, you go down the Tony Yoka route and you can sell it as the 2 Olympic gold medalists and whatever. It's a lose-lose, mate. You're expected to knock him out. If you don't, then you go the distance. I think that's going to take something out of you. I actually think that this could be better prep for a Tyson Fury fight. Not just
mentally as well, because he smokes him and it looks great, and then he's confident.
This is what I'm saying, right? Not just from a stylistic boxing standpoint, but from the mental standpoint of the fact that if you go in there and you smoke Jake Paul, straight away, all of a sudden, it's headline news, it's massive, and as well as that, you're coming in off the back of something that's impressive, right? We all felt like the Francis Ngannou performance was really impressive, but it wasn't followed up with an impressive performance. So it doesn't actually determine whether or not...
This is worse. This is worse than that. I don't know what you're thinking, Lawrence, but the Ngannou one, you could at least say heavyweight. You could say that his pedigree. So we didn't really... While he was coming from a different kind of method of fighting, end of the day, he's still a champion.
Commentary from Bart Kwan, Joe Jitsukawa, Ryan Aim, and Steve Green reflects a noticeable shift in how Jake Paul is viewed within the boxing community. Once brushed off as a social media star chasing headlines, Paul is now increasingly recognized as a committed athlete. Analysts point out that facing progressively tougher opponents has forced him to refine his technique, improve discipline, and take the sport seriously. Fans, trainers, and commentators alike are beginning to see him as a legitimate competitor rather than a novelty attraction. This change in perception adds extra weight to his upcoming fights, as each bout now serves as another test of his credibility as a professional boxer.
See,
I feel like the one that I was mostly from you was the Anderson Silva one. Where Anderson Silva had like one sick round where he's like, whoop, whoop, you know, doing it what Anderson Silva does and missing everything. It cracks him and whatever. And then he just like the next few rounds, he's back to like just getting his butt kicked by Jake Paul and walking around. Doesn't look the same. Yeah. But again, I don't think these guys are actually getting dropped to like faking. I think Jake Paul actually has that kind of power. I just feel like they kind of know the deal.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I make a lot of money. You make a lot of money, not as much money as me, but you make more money than you ever would. So you take it. You know, it is what it is. But I don't know. Kind of sucks to see all these legends, right? Like of the sport. Like, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see this guy is losing to freaking Jake Paul.
I will say I loved everything about the Tyson fight in the lead up, and then as I'm actually watching it, I'm like, all right, this is actually fucked up. My bad.
Yeah, it's like senior.
Even when he turns around on camera in the interview in the boxing room.
Oh, dude, it was terrible.
Bro, then they show his ass. Oh my god, that was so dirty. Damn, so it was like such a sweet moment too. He's hugging his son. Everything is cool. Turns away and sees his butt, and it's like, it's like man.
That's not gonna not be funny though.
No, yeah, you gotta laugh at that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So what's the least amount of money that you would have to take to get into the ring with Jake Paul and lose?
I mean, like, right now in my career, I wouldn't do this deal, you know, like...
TV analysts Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara have also weighed in, emphasizing just how unpredictable this fight could be. They suggest that Joshua's strategy remains a major unknown, including whether his team might encourage a more controlled approach. Holding back some power could reduce unnecessary risk, but it might also open brief windows for Paul to capitalize. According to the commentators, this uncertainty is exactly what makes the matchup both thrilling and potentially dangerous.
Right? Yeah. I don't know, mate.
I think it's dangerous.
Yeah,
I genuinely, I think it's dangerous.
Well, but that's
putting a world heavyweight champion,
and then the cynic,
top 4 or 5 fighters in the world.
Then the cynic in me tells me,
who's never had a proper fight.
Right, the cynic in me straight away goes, I think AJ's probably going to be told, and I don't know this, don't go heavy on him the first.
No, he can't afford to do that. Anthony Joshua can't afford to do that.
Okay, well, that's where I'm wrestling with my own mind right now. You asked me the question. How do I feel about it? I don't know what to make of it, mate. I seriously don't know what to make of it. I seriously don't.
I think it's a joke.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it.
I'll watch it because...
I don't know whether I will, Jay. Honestly, I probably will close to the fight. Right now, I don't know whether I will. I don't know whether I will, honestly. I didn't watch... Was it Jake Paul that fought... Who did he fight? Mayweather. No, Mayweather. I didn't watch that. Who fought Mayweather? Oh, it was. I tell you, it was. Who was the MMA fighter?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
One that you didn't know the name of, yeah. Logan
Paul, right?
He fought for
I didn't watch that one either, right?
I know, but Jake Paul's got a bit more boxing credential. He has.
What about McGregor? Who did McGregor fight? Did he fight someone? McGregor? Have I made that up?
Yeah, I don't know. Where's your head at?
I don't know, mate.
I mean,
they all
it's all over the gaff. You gave Andy your number and you gave him the talk.
His name's Adam.
Adam, sorry. You gave Adam the number.
No.
You said 03717 22
I gave him the sports.
You gave him the sports number.
No, but I don't.
Get your head out.
No, I don't know. I don't know whether I will watch it.
On the Weight Concept podcast, hosts took a closer look at the physical differences between the two fighters. Clemens noted that Jake Paul typically fights around 90 kilograms, while Anthony Joshua often enters the ring closer to 111 kilograms. That weight gap can have a major impact on durability, punching force, and overall exchanges. The discussion made it clear that these aren't just statistics, they translate directly into how the fight unfolds, forcing Paul to carefully plan around these physical disadvantages.
Issues in making this fight: one, yes, that's the former heavyweight champ. Why is he fighting Jake Paul? And two, why is Jake Paul putting his health and well-being on the line? Because someone asked me on Twitter, Wade, if Jake Paul gets knocked out, will his career be over? Buddy, his life may be over if he gets knocked out by AJ, because that dude put Francis Ngannou flat on his back, and I had never seen Francis Ngannou hurt before. Again, it's boxing, not MMA. Jake has a little more experience, but we're talking about a massive size difference. AJ's still relatively young and still relatively got something left in the tank, and he's only fought the world-class guys for the last 10 years. This would be Jake's not only hardest fight, most dangerous fight of his career. If Jake is doing this, it could signal the last one. I'm not even joking. This could signal Jake being like, I'm having one more of these and I'm out.
That wraps things up for today's video. Make sure you stay tuned for more. Until next time.